Tomorrow is the fast of 10th of Tevet. Now, it's actually unique to have a fast on Friday. Usually, we don't have any of the minor fasts on Fridays because we don't want it to disturb the Shabbos preparations. But in this case, because the fast is so important, it overrides those normal concerns. And the question, therefore, is, what is the lesson of 10th of Tevet, and why is it so important? Also, we know we have many other fasts that are associated with the destruction of the temple and its associated exile. Why do you need another fast? It seems to be redundant. So we know that every fast isn't just a fast, it's actually a time for reflection and introspection. And therefore, the question is, what are we supposed to be thinking about, reflecting upon this 10th of Tevet? So we have to appreciate the fact that for many, many years, for more than 100 years, the prophets were warning the Jewish people that unless the nation changes its ways, unless they pull away from paganism, there's going to be an exile brought upon by the Babylonians. And we know that the nation failed to heed the prophet's call. And 10th of Tevet is a fast that commemorates the onset, the beginning of the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem. And the lesson the tragedy of 10th of Tevet, and the lesson that we're supposed to be thinking about, is not so much the siege itself, but even a deeper tragedy. The fact that even as the siege began, even as the barbarians were at their gates, they still had the chance to change course. They still had the chance to hear the message, listen to the Nevi'im's call, and then ward off this impending destruction. But they didn't. The tragedy is that they ignored this message. They didn't listen to this message, and we know the disastrous outcome. And therefore, the lesson for us, the lesson that 10th of Tevet calls for us to think about, is the lesson of calling us to listen to our messages, to read the handwriting on the wall, and nip things in the bud before they get worse. This is an important lesson for us in our relationships with our spouses, and our relationships to our children, and our health. Right? There are times our children may need more attention in time at school. We have to read the messages, but don't ignore them. Nip things while they're small, because if we ignore them, they only exacerbate. Same thing also with our relationships with our spouses. If we see that we require a greater effort, greater intervention in resolving marital challenges, we have to nip things in the bud. Don't let things get worse. We can't ignore the handwriting on the wall. We have to listen to our messages. Same thing also with our health. If we see that some signs that we're not living, we should be living a healthier lifestyle, right? Don't ignore the messages. Nip things in the bud. Don't let things get worse, right? Don't ignore the facts don't ignore our messages, and that's the call that 10th of Tevet asks us to listen to, right? When the barbarians are at the gates, there's still a chance to alter course. Don't ignore those messages. We also meet us and have a very meaningful, wonderful Shabbos.